We have all been there, staring at a piece of code that just refuses to work, feeling totally and completely stuck. Your next move is probably to ask for help online. But how you ask, well, that can make all the difference. Today, we're going to break down how to write the perfect forum post, one that actually gets you fast, helpful answers.
You know that feeling, right? You're deep in the zone, coding away, everything's going great, and then, bam! An error message pops up that might as well be written in an alien language. It's so frustrating, and it just completely kills your momentum. But what you do next, that's what's really crucial.
So let's walk through a real-world example. Imagine you're building a custom search engine. Pretty cool project, right? You're making awesome progress, and then you hit a wall. A confusing, totally unexpected wall.
Your goal is pretty straightforward. You want to take some text from Wikipedia and turn it into embeddings with a Hugging Face model. Simple enough. But when you feed a chunk of text into your model, the whole program just crashes, spitting out this really cryptic index error. This is what you see. Index error. Index out of range in self. What does that even mean in this context? It gives you almost zero clues about what went wrong or how to fix it. So what do? Well, your next logical step is to turn to the community forums for help. Now, your first instinct might be to just, quickly fire off a post to get the problem out there, but a hasty post can often do a lot more harm than good. Let's take a look at a first attempt and break down exactly why it falls so short.
So the first attempt has a title like Help with Index Error. The body basically just says, I get this error, what's wrong? And then, to top it all off, it directly tags a couple of people. It's short, sure, but it is definitely not sweet. In fact, it has some major problems.
This kind of post is probably not going to get a good answer, if it gets one at all. Why? Well, the title is way too generic to attract the right experts. The body has absolutely no context, so nobody can even try to reproduce the error. And the tone? It just feels demanding, which can be pretty off-putting when you're asking for help from volunteers. Okay, let's fix this thing, starting right from the top. The single most important piece of real estate in your entire post is the title. It's your headline, your first impression, and we need to make it count.
Just look at the difference here. On the one hand, you have the vague, original, help with index error. Meh. But compare that to something way more effective, source of index error in the auto model forward pass. The difference is huge. The second title is absolutely packed with specific, searchable info.
A great title acts like a signpost. It immediately tells potential helpers where the problem is happening in the model's forward pass and what kind of problem it is, an indexer. Someone scrolling through the forum can see that and instantly know, hey, I know about that, I can probably help. All right, title, check. Now let's move on to the body of the post. Because let's be honest, trying to read raw code and error messages as just plain text is a total nightmare. This is where a little bit of formatting goes a long way. I mean, when code is just pasted in as a giant wall of plain text, everything just blends into this unreadable mess. Trying to debug that is like searching for a needle in a haystack made of identical-looking hay. But with just a few simple keystrokes of formatting, that mess becomes clean, organized, and even color-coded. All of a sudden, it's so much easier to understand. The difference is just, it's night and day, isn't it? And the technique here is so simple. On the Hugging Face forums and lots of other places too, you just wrap your code blocks and 3 backticks. And if you want to highlight a single variable or a function name right in your sentence, just use a single backtick. It's a really simple trick with a huge impact. Okay, here's another super common mistake. Only posting the very last line of an error message. It might feel like you're saving space, but you're actually hiding all the crucial clues. The full traceback tells the story of what your code was doing right before it crashed. Don't rob your helpers of that story. So, with a polite tone, some formatted code, and that full, glorious traceback, our post is already 1,000 times better. Someone with a sharp eye might even be able to spot the problem just from these details alone. But we can do even better. There is one more step that separates a good post from a truly great one. This is the part that will get you expert-level help and get it fast. I'm talking about the reproducible example. So what is a reproducible example? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's the smallest possible piece of code that someone else can copy, paste, and run on their own machine to get the exact same error you're seeing. No guesswork needed. And why does this matter so much? Because it transforms the person helping you from a detective trying to solve a mystery with no clues into a scientist who can actually replicate your experiment. They can run your code, they can poke at it, and they can figure out exactly what's going wrong.
So we've improved the title, we've fixed the formatting, and now we've added our game-changing, reproducible example. Let's put it all together and see the final product. This is what an amazing, answer-attracting forum post really looks like.
And there it is, a descriptive title, a polite and clear explanation, beautifully formatted code and traceback, and that all-important reproducible example. This post doesn't just ask for help, it actively makes it incredibly easy for the community to provide it.
So let's just boil it all down to a simple recipe. 3 steps. 1. Write a descriptive title that tells people what the error is and where it is. 2. Format your code and the full traceback so it's easy to read. And 3. Provide that minimal reproducible example. That's it. That's the formula for getting great answers.
Ultimately, this is about more than just getting your code fixed. By taking a few extra minutes to craft a really great question, you're showing respect for the time and the effort of the volunteers in the community. You're helping build a culture of clear, effective collaboration.
So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you get stuck and you need to ask for help, just take a moment and think, how can I make my question as easy as possible for someone else to answer? Because a great question isn't just the start of a solution. It's the start of a great conversation.